This is the feature showcase of business signup. So here we are on the HQZen landing page, and we are going to navigate to get started. And in terms of roles, we're going to select setting up a business. We are then led to the business setup page. So here we're just going to fill everything out. So we're going to sign up. So after clicking sign up, a modal shows up informing the user that they've sent an email for verification, and then we can click start exploring HQZen. So this will then redirect the user to their main board, and we've essentially made it so that the user only has access to the main board. So anytime the user tries to do something, for example this, there will be a modal pop-up which tells the user again to verify their account. So if we go here, for example, click this, the same modal pops up. We do, however, have access to our account here, and we also have access to the help center.
Good day everyone. Today I'll be showcasing a demo of our client setup feature, and right now I'm logged in and now we are in the client's exec account, and um, uh, we should expect a trigger for our client setup right over here on our main board. So here in the importance column we can see there is a card that says to continue setting up your workforce. So this is the card that will trigger the client setup for um, Clint Eastwood's daylight workforce. So let's click on get started, and we will now see the client setup boot up in front of us. So the first thing we will see is an introductory modal for the client setup workflow. So it will say something about uh, to setting up your workforce, so to ensure a seamless transition to productivity. So let's get started, and for step one, um, it's information about unemployment policy and all the underlying policies within. So there's an applicant policy, payroll policy, leave policy, appraisal, and lastly the platform settings. So for step two, here we can see that the client can choose whether they would like to hire a regular employee or an independent contractor for their workforce. For now, let's just try to click on a regular employee. So on step three, here, the client can choose to edit the workforce name if they wish to, and they can also add a picture or like a logo for their workforce. And on step four is the list of employment policy templates from different regions or countries. So for now, uh, we have three. We have the Philippines and Uganda and Kenya. So let's click on Philippines for now. And steps 5 onwards are the default values of the underlying policies under the employment policy of the Philippines. So here it's the applicant policy, and below it are the requirements that an employee should comply under this workforce. So here is SSS, the field health, pag-ibig, TIN, NBI clearance, and MedCert. So that's it for applicant policy, and next is the leave policy. So the details as to how leaves work under this policy, under this workforce rather, and we can see the leave cycle, the leave credits, when the credits will expire, the accruing leaves, the leave credits that can be converted to cash, and the remaining credits that will roll over or be carried over to the next cycle. Step 7 is the payroll policy and its details. So we can see the type of payroll that the Philippines employment policy has. So it's a semi-monthly payroll, and below it are the holidays that encompasses within a year's worth of payroll. So down here. So for step 8 is the appraisal policy. So like the details on how an employee is evaluated. So we can see uh, configuration for scorecard rather, the frequency of appraisal, the probationary interval days, and when it will expire. And on step 9 is the platform settings. So we can see how the platforms of this workforce behave. So we can see here desktop and mobile. And if we click on this one, we can see the settings being configured for the desktop platform and also for mobile. Um, Specifically for this employment policy, there is no default settings for mobile. And on step 10 is an overview or like a summary of all the details that is under the chosen employment policy. So we can see the regular contract that we chose a while ago, and these are the same details of the underlying policies under the chosen employment policy a while ago. And then here on the other tab page is the platform settings configuration, so we can see all the settings being configured for this employment policy. So step 11 is um, naming configuration. So we can name the staff configuration, and just for context, it is called staff configuration since all of this settings or configuration are packed into what we call now as a staff configuration. So we can go ahead and name this. We can just call it a workforce name and it suffix it with something. And this one, I'll just say employment policy. And this one, platform settings. And if we're satisfied with all our naming here, we can just click on save changes and create all of those. So we now successfully created everything. So we can click on view employment policy to be redirected to this page, and we can see now our new employment policy for this workforce. So let's just view the details and see that it is now populated with everything. So that's it for the client setup feature. Thank you for listening.